What's up? Welcome back to the box office, guys. Just we have a fight this weekend. We have a fight. Um, First and foremost, welcome back to the box office. I'm going to be covering Zepeda versus Baranchyk. Very close fight according to the odds. Should be an exciting one actually. Baranchyk is a straight come forward guy. Zepeda, he can bang it out too, but he's got some things that he has to work on. Hopefully, he worked on them. One of those being endurance, distance, not getting caught up in the wrong fight. Uh, Baranchyk, he's gonna come in 100 miles an hour. He's gonna stay in front of you and trying to get you out. So if you can't weather the storm, you're in for a long, long fight. But with that thrown out there, we do have Ivan Baranchyk coming in at a minus 160, Jose Zepeda at a plus 130. So the odds are very close, meaning it's not a toss-up fight, but it's a pretty darn close fight. Meaning, if Zepeda were to pull the upset, it wouldn't be that big of an upset. Baranchyk, you have to bet $160 to win 100. Jose Zepeda, you bet 100 and you get 130 back. All right, so the odds are a little bit swayed in that way, so you can't bet on both of them and then be like, oh well, it's not dollar for dollar. It doesn't work that way. You kind of have to protect themselves. If you were to bet on both of them, you bet 160 to win 100, and then you bet 100 to bet 130. You're losing out on some money right there. So that's how Vegas protects himself. But remember, sports wagering, do it responsibly. This is solely for entertainment purposes. This is solely for, don't take it like as a set in stone. Anything can happen in professional sports. This is just for entertainment purposes. And what I do is, and I'm responsible about it. You never wager more than you can afford. Okay, so just throwing that out there. Don't bank the house on this bout because of what I'm saying, what we're reviewing. Be responsible about it, but let's keep moving forward. Okay, so Ivan Baranchyk recently had a fight against Gabriel Bracero where he won by stoppage, technical knockout, I believe. His corner stopped the fight. He just came forward, boy oh boy. At the same time, Gabriel Bracero had just came off of an upset victory against Artemio Reyes, where he won by a body shot knockout, which was a little interesting with someone that had very little knockouts in his career. But Baranchyk didn't feel any of the power. He stayed in front of him and was able to get him out of there. Whereas Zepeda, his last fight was a unanimous decision in the bubble, 10-round fight where he was. He won the fight. It was a unanimous decision, but he did take some rounds off, kind of in the middle of the fight. He's always had an issue with stamina. It's always been, brought up between his fights, which with a Baranchyk, he's going to be forced to fight. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this fight goes about and how it develops, especially if it is going into the later rounds. Baranchyk went 12 rounds with Josh Taylor. Zepeda went 12 rounds with Jose Ramirez. Very close bouts. The Zepeda one, a lot of people think, could have been a draw, could have been. But at the end of the day, you have to beat the champion to be the champion. It was a good fight. I'll just say that much. It was a good fight. Zepeda brought it, but towards the end of the fight, he started getting tagged up a little bit too much, kind of like questioning his conditioning. But that's something that hopefully he fixed because Baranchyk is straightforward. Now, Baranchyk, like I mentioned, straightforward, kind of reminds you like Ricky Hatton, just throws punches. He kind of rolls with them, and he definitely is a problem. Let me go ahead and adjust this real quick. There you go. He definitely is a problem for those that when he's coming forward, if you're not fending him off, if you're not taking punches well, he's gonna stay in front of you. So be prepared for that. Stylistically, Zepeda could stay in the inside of the fight and just go at it with him. Do I recommend that, considering considering the stamina issues that we've seen before or that have been reoccurring or popping up, especially even commentators mention it. It's something that pops up in fighter meetings. I think it's something that we have to keep a close eye on. Just to continue moving forward with the topic, and let me get a little bit closer over here. Sorry if I'm like in your face, but something to keep in mind is how the stylistically, like, and we're gonna see how what pace the fighters want the fight to be fought at. Okay, so first up, it's actually going to be, I'm gonna be showing the Zepeda versus the Castañeda fight. Basically, this was a tough fight, very tough fight, but as you can see, he fights at his distance. He comes in and he moves around. He is a southpaw, and he engages. He's willing to engage in these fights. As you can see, in fifth round, he's kind of circling around, hands down. That kind of clubs, sixth round, he's throwing that jab to the body, moving backwards, chin up. So the defense is there, but it's not there. We can kind of see it. But that's kind of the type of fight. He is a very willing person to engage. He is someone that is going to be there to get hit, but he's also going to hit. So the key here is going to be, can Zepeda fend off Ivan Baranchyk for the 12 rounds? Ivan Baranchyk, you're going to see right now when I show his side, his clip, how he just comes forward, and it is a sloppy fight. Josh Taylor was able to fend him off. Josh Taylor does have a heavy hand. As you saw, he won with the first round body shot. So he was able to withstand this power and stay in front of him and keep coming forward. So that's not an issue. The issue for me is going to be the development of Zepeda and his conditioning. If he has enough pop to keep him off of him, does he have enough pop to keep him off of him for the whole 12 rounds? I don't know. It's something we have to kind of just analyze and see how it develops. I mean, one good punch can change the fight, right? One good punch can change the pace of the fight drastically to the point where Ivan is not being that willing engager that he is. But as I'm about to show you right now, if we can take a quick peep right over here, he is strong. He is a bull, and he's getting hit here. This is him against Josh Taylor, okay? But he's coming forward. He throws hard. He tries to catch you coming in. He's a very physical, rough and tough guy. Right there, you can see him pushing the champion back. He's taking his best shots too, and he's giving his own. So to me, I wanted to see how this fight's going to develop, especially in the later stages. Maybe after round 5, maybe second half of the fight. It's very interesting to see what can be of this fight. Because it can be, fight of the year candidate up until Zepeda is out. Unfortunately, we don't know. The odds are very close. The odds, just by looking at those highlights, and those were highlights of Ivan losing a fight. He looked like he could still do some damage considering what we saw from Zepeda. Now, the odds are very, very close. And if you look at, there's already prop bets going around so that we can see, what is kind of expected. What does Vegas expect from this fight? And let's take a look into that, actually, because I just find it interesting that the prop bets are out so early, which is actually very, very rare for a site like Bovada to have that going. Okay, so let's take a look. Ivan Baranchyk, and I'll kind of just have it here. To win in the first 2 rounds, it's not likely, but what's even less likely is for Jose de Zepeda to hurt him in the early stages of the fight. Now, if you want to go 3-round bets, a lot of people do think this fight goes the distance, but what you want to look at and what you want to analyze when it comes to the fights and what Vegas is predicting is, okay, that's not me. Let's go. I'll close that out later. What they think about if Baranchyk is going to win by KO or by technical decision. As we see right here, the odds think it's going to go into a decision or technical decision, but Baranchyk by KO, or TKO is at a plus 450. We've seen how kind of gassed he gets, so I can see a fight going, being stopped within the distance. Will the fight go the distance? And this is the interesting part about it. Vegas is actually saying it won't go the distance. I mean, it will go the distance at a minus 400, meaning you have to bet $400 for you to win 100. Whereas, will the fight go the distance? And you say no, you bet 100 and you get 300 back. So, things to consider would be, who do you think's gonna win this fight? Do you think Ivan's motor is, going to be able to sustain that high energy output, or do we think that Zepeda is going to be able to weather the storm? Interestingly enough, Vegas does think Ivan's going to win a decision, because that's where the odds are the closest. But they do leave the window open to him being able to win by knockout. If you're going to say like Ivan is going to win any way, shape, or form, minus 160. But when you start getting into the specifics, and it's still at a plus 4 decision and it's at a plus 4 knockout, that's when you can kind of see like, okay, we can see a little bit of Ivan getting this guy out of here. Now they do think that the fight's going to go the distance, but they're not oblivious to them seeing, okay, Ivan can win by knockout. Same can be said for Zepeda, though. Okay, so Zepeda, if he's going to win, Vegas is basically telling us right now that he's going to win by decision. It's at a plus 155. Okay, now if you elect Zepeda by KO, he is at a plus like 800. Okay, so if we truly believe Zepeda can get this guy out of there, you bet 100, you get 850 back for the KO. Okay, so Vegas is telling us, you know what, we don't believe Zepeda can get this guy out of here. We also don't think Ivan is going to get him out of the fight, but there is a slight chance, and if it does happen, we're not going to be surprised, is basically what Vegas is telling us. Opposed to him being plus 130 right off the bat. A quick tip, if you are selecting Zepeda by decision, the safer bet would be just going for the 130, because $25 saying that he's going to win by decision, and let's say he does knock out, let's say something happens but he does win the fight and it's not a decision, those $25 are really not worth it. Whereas Ivan, he's a minus 160, so what you can do is you can bet to win $100 that he's gonna win the fight, and then bet those $100 that he's gonna win by knockout. That's a little strategy that I use certain times when I feel that one fighter is gonna just win. So I'll bet Ivan wins 160. He does win. Let's say he wins. Method of winning, we don't know, but he wins, and that's when you can put X amount on by knockout. If he goes to the decision, you get your money back for the knockout bet, and that's a little strategy that we use. But that strategy only works on certain fights, okay, and certain fighters. Because sometimes if the knockout is predictable, like let's say it's a Deontay Wilder where he typically wins by knockout, that wouldn't be the case. That wouldn't really benefit us at all, because then you have decision, money line, and knockout, and that just brings a sloppy no, that's a no-go for us. But either way, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, how you think this fight is going to play out. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the knockout, or on the fight not going the distance, and then I'm going to make my pick. My pick, I am leaning towards Ivan, just because Jose does seem to take time off in between fights. He relaxes, gives some rounds away. But he does have some skills, and he did beat El Sniper. If you guys remember that fight, he beat him actually at the T-Mobile Arena. He unanimous decision, and if we know, Jose Pedraza just beat Javier Molina, and he looked really good. So he looked really good. Then you have Zepeda, who beat him. So where does he leave that? He lost a close fight to Jose Ramirez, who's in a collision course with Josh Taylor, who went 12 rounds with Ivan. And this division is just stacked, and it is a web. And I cannot wait, because this division, junior welterweight, is amazing, and the best are fighting the best. Granted, we just need that Josh Taylor Jose Ramirez fight to happen, and we can kind of rank them, and then we can categorize them and see what we got from there. But even an Ivan Baranchyk fight with a Jose Ramirez would be interesting, because they both are willing to get in there and just throw punches. But Jose Zepeda, I mean, I'm excited for this fight. This is going to be a good one. Props up to getting this fight happening, to the matchmakers up there at Top Rank. It's a good fight. It's kind of a win-win for everyone. It's a win-win for the fans, and it's good boxing. I always say any boxing is good boxing, just because we can watch, we can observe. If you're really into the box office, we give you suggestions so you can purchase a ticket, become part of the action. Just what we say, boxing and wagering, it goes hand in hand for me. But this is going to be a good one, guys. Don't miss out, like I mentioned. Comment down below. Comment a couple things. How do you think the fight's going to end? How do you think it's going to play out? Do you think Zepeda can get Baranchyk out of there, pull up an upset, not so upset? And what's next for these fighters, depending on who wins? If Ivan wins, who should he fight next? A Jose Ramirez? That'd be interesting, but he has his eyes set on another fighter, on another fight. Zepeda, is he really going to get a rematch with Jose Ramirez? Comment down below. That's all I can say. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and let's discuss, because this is a good division. It's stacked, and there's a lot of good fights, including, I think this one's going to be a really good action-packed fight. Once again, the box office. Take care, guys. Be responsible. Don't bet. Don't wager the house. This is for fun and entertainment purposes only. Take care.